So Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set is coming out on June 13th. So it's the beginning of April right now, 2025. And in 2 months, basically, the Final Fantasy set, the first that we know of at least for Final Fantasy set for Magic the Gathering, is being released. There is a lot of speculation on the set. There's a lot of thoughts and a lot of unknowns right now. So we do know that there is going to be serialized cards. We don't know how many. We don't know the count of those cards. Is there going to be a one of one like the Lord of the Rings set and things like that? Totally unknown right now. We do have some spoilers that we saw, showcasing definitely some different eras of Final Fantasy. You have some of the earlier stuff going back as far as I think Final Fantasy 3 in America or 6 in Japan, as far as some of the newer stuff now. So and it's only been a few cards, but Final Fantasy right now is like the big speculation that everyone's talking about and trying to figure out exactly what to do with it. We're only 2 months away, which means pretty soon we're going to start seeing a lot more spoilers coming out, a lot more hype, and it's going to increase the FOMO, the fear of missing out, altogether as the set gets more released. So basically, here's just kind of my thoughts where we are now with Final Fantasy. So again, beginning of April right now, 2025. I think it was a month ago or within 2 months ago or so. I believe Amazon had a pre-sale for Final Fantasy. They started doing pre-orders for boxes and sale on their website. Now, I missed this completely because by the time I heard about it, it was already over. From what I understand, the whole pre-sale and the actual sale they had altogether lasted about 30 minutes, basically before it sold out. And I'm pretty sure I didn't buy any. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, I totally missed it, but I'm pretty sure that Amazon sent something out to everybody saying that, like, regardless of what you ordered, you're only getting six. It's kind of one of those things. I'm pretty sure that's what happened for people that did order it. Now, again, I have a rule where I don't really pre-order things more than 30 days out. That's just kind of how it is. I like to see kind of how the hype is for the set. I like to see some of the cards as they kind of like showcase them. Some of the treatments, are there serialized cards? Is there textured cards? Is there halo foils and showcases or whatever versions of the cards there are? I like to kind of have a good idea before I, buy a bunch of the set. This is a different story. To date, I still have not pre-ordered any Final Fantasy. We're 2 months out, but pretty soon I'm probably going to start nibbling on some websites. Looking right now on TCG Player, again, 2 months out. No stores right now, I think, even have it for pre-sale anymore. They're around $600 a box for a collector box. So when Amazon first did their first pre-sale, first and only as of this point, I think it was around 500, give or take, is what it was. So a little while later, if they're $600 right now on TCG Player, eBay, and they are selling a lot on, if you look on the sales in TCG Player and eBay, look at the sold listings, they are regularly selling on a daily basis, multiple every day for sales. Couple things with that. Complete speculation at this point. We don't know what the serialized cards are going to be. We don't know what the print run, anything like that. But right now it's 100% fear of missing out. And I gotta be honest with you, as we get closer, I'm going to start nibbling on some of these boxes as well for pre-orders. Again, I'm only going to be buying from stores. I'm not going to be buying from individuals, but as we get closer, if I don't see a lot of stores start putting pre-sale prices out there and listings, I'm probably just going to go from stores straight from TCG Player, and I'm really going to spread the love around as far as where I buy from. A situation like this is such a complete unknown, and we've never really seen anything like this kind of hype before. 2 years ago, I think it was in June when Lord of the Rings set came out, June 2023. Huge IP, absolutely incredible. I'm going to go so far as to say that Final Fantasy is bigger. I think that Final Fantasy is I don't know if I can say it's more known. I think Lord of the Rings is probably more known, but I think that people that are in games and things like that definitely more involved with Final Fantasy. You can probably toss it up either way. But as far as if the hype for Lord of the Rings and the results of the Lord of the Rings sales mean anything, we went from $300 collector boxes 2 years ago to $800 regular versions of Lord of the Rings and $1,800 special edition version of the Lord of the Rings 2 years later. So if, let's say, Final Fantasy comes out, let's say it's $600, which is what it is now at release, and that's just what they cost. I mean, everyone knows it's going to be a huge collector's item. Everyone's going to want to open it. We're all going to want to open it. I mean, I played Final Fantasy when I was a kid. Absolutely loved it. I played Mystic Quest, the original one, the first one, Final Fantasy 2 and 3 in the United States, and Final Fantasy Tactics, obviously 7. Played 10 years ago, but I haven't played any of the newer stuff basically since 10, so it's been a lot of years. But I've actually been getting back in the old ones recently. But anyways, I think that the nostalgia and the hype for something like Final Fantasy is going to be huge. And when you can mix it with the collectability aspect and the randomness of the pulls and the quote gambling aspect of opening packs, I think it's going to be absolutely insane. FOMO being the biggest thing, of course, as I already said. But A couple things where the real curiosity is going to be is the print runs. And I have just a strong belief when it comes to any of these crazy IPs. Some of the smaller IPs, I don't think they mean as much, but like the big ones, Lord of the Rings, Final Fantasy, Assassin's Creed, Marvel, that's coming up. I'm sure that the folks that own those IPs, let's say the people that own Final Fantasy, they don't want to see the set crash and burn. There's no way they're going to allow a set go from like a $600 pre-sale and the set drop to like $200 as like a garbage, sale. There's no way they're going to allow that to happen. And same thing with Lord of the Rings. There's no way that they're going to allow them to overprint it so there's just too much and it turns into dog shit. They want everyone to get it, of course. Like they want to make sure enough is available, but that's that tricky thing they have to do to make sure there's enough for everybody, but not enough where it runs out. Or I'm sorry, it's too much and it's just a pile of cardboard that no one really cares about. At first, it's kind of what happened with Assassin's Creed collector boxes. Well, I know that Alpha Investments had really hyped up Assassin's Creed, saying the print run was low, and any box under 300 was a steal. And then, like literally, that video made them go to $400 a box. But once it was released, the actual want and need for it kind of showed, and so the boxes dropped. Like collector boxes I think were as low as $200, and they've climbed back up to about 300. But I don't think that a lot of these IPs, these companies that have these IPs, want to see that happen. They want to see a successful product that does well, has cards that they want, and is going to slowly go up over time and be a super collectible thing. I don't think anyone would doubt that Final Fantasy, short and long term, sealed boxes are going to be crazy expensive. It's just a matter of who has the ability and the resources to kind of hold it long term. Personally, I probably won't hold any long term. I want to get them and crack them and open them on the show and have a good time with them. That's just my thought. And again, we don't know too if like Final Fantasy is going to have multiple sets. Obviously, with this one, they're doing several games. We know that we're doing like different eras and things like that. But I mean, I would think that they'd want to do multiple. I mean, I know Marvel's going to do multiple sets down the road, probably for years. So I could see Final Fantasy doing more, but we kind of have to assume right now this is going to be the only one, so people are going to go hardcore with it. If Amazon runs out in 30 minutes, I mean, that's pretty crazy. There was another store, I believe it was Flipside Gaming. Again, I didn't jump in on these, but Flipside Gaming a month ago or so, I remember, like, because I do buy from them sometimes, I got an email saying, hey, they're going to do this Final Fantasy sale. Here's when it's going to happen, just so you know, so we can have the boxes available. And I was available, so I watched it all go down, and I forget the exact amount, but it was like 20 minutes or like a half an hour or an hour or something like that. But like within an hour for sure, I think it was a few hundred boxes they had. And because I went in there when it went live. I added like 1,000 boxes to my cart just to see, and I forget the exact number, but it was only a few hundred they had. That's not going to be their full allocation. So this kind of leads me to my next point: is my thoughts early on is the really early pre-sale with Amazon and them running out right away. I think that was just a test to see what the market wanted and if they were going to buy it, to see if their price point was right. Starting off at $500 a box, it's a pretty ballsy move. I think the last time we had a big jump like that was Modern Horizons 2, when those collector boxes came out. They started off at 400. There wasn't even serialized cards in sets back then. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. But I honestly at this point think, especially the Amazon thing, that was a test, I think, for Wizards to see what the demand was. And I'm hoping that I'm right and that there's more coming to Amazon, because again, that's like that barometer to see like how many boxes are out there, because we know Amazon gets the most, because that's the way Wizards makes the most money. So I hope I'm right in thinking that the Amazon sale was just a test for the market and the demand. If it was, then we'll see more come to market. If it wasn't, then these boxes at $600 are wildly underpriced given the demand. So that's kind of the tough part, is to figure out. And so that's why I think that pretty soon, again, I usually wait about 30 days, but we're about 60 days away, maybe 70 days away right now. So my personal opinion, in the coming month, in the next 30 days, I'm going to start nibbling on some buys. Probably not a lot, not like a master case here, or like whatever. It's a lot of money, probably $600 a box. I'll probably like a box or two here, a box or two from this store. My goal is to probably have like 10 different stores I bought from, and I'll have to keep track of it so I know where I have them from, so I know if they get canceled, which there will be a lot of cancels with these pre-orders. My guess is if this Amazon sale was not a test, if this actually was all they had, and you see these boxes come within 30 days of release, and all of a sudden pre-sales go to like $800,000 for pre-sale, any store that pre-sold it for $600, they're gonna cancel it on you and sell it for that $1,000 or whatever it happens to be. So it's gonna be interesting, and it's gonna be completely unknown territory. Like something this big, I think is going to be absolutely massive. And it's tough because everybody wants to get a hold of it, whether you're a player, collector, you're cracking it for singles. If you're a store, like you want to make sure you get some. I mean, if you're an LGS and you're only going to get like 10 or like 6 or 12 bucks or something like that, I mean, if it were me, I would just jack the price up and just wait a little while. My goal is just get some for my Whatnot show so I can offer it at a pretty good price and have fun with it. I mean, because I'm sure once I get it, like once it's gone, it's going to be gone and the prices are going to skyrocket. So we're just going to have to see what happens. Yeah, but my suggestion is if you are really worried about not getting any, honestly, the $600 pre-sale price tag right now, it's probably not terrible. It sounds crazy to even say that, but like with an IP as big as this, the only one I think that's gonna be bigger is gonna be Marvel when that happens, and that's a whole different story because they kind of went, like I said, they went very specific with just Spider-Man. I don't really like that, but with Final Fantasy, it seems like they went from like old games, newer games. They're gonna get the whole market of Final Fantasy fans, and the thing is too is like we haven't even seen like the really cool stuff. We haven't seen like the crazy alternate arts, the serialized cards. Remember, Lord of the Rings, they did the one of one ring. That was the first time they did that. And best marketing thing ever. You have one, it's the one ring, you make the one of one. Totally awesome. I don't know if they'll make one of ones, like a cloud, from Final Fantasy 7, like a one of one. I could definitely see them doing like the one of hundreds, like the posters from Lord of the Rings. I would love to see one of 10s or one of 25s or something like that. Lower that number a little bit. I really think that'd be awesome. But as I've said in other videos, like with serialized cards, as sets move forward, they're lowering the amount of serialized cards we're getting. The past few sets, I mean, you talk about Aether Drift, you talk about Innistrad and Tarkir, Dragonstorm that just came out. All three of those, they only have one card, 500 for serialized cards. That's it. So when we get to these specialty sets, these crazy IPs, they're not going to risk having, 31,500 cards like Brothers War and serialized. There's going to be a very limited amount. It's going to be very sought after. So, like I said, I'm not buying any yet, but I can almost guarantee that in the next week or two, I'm going to start nibbling at some boxes that some stores have. Right now, again, it's pretty much eBay and TCG Player that we can buy them. You're going to start seeing regular stores carry it pretty soon. Again, if I was a store, I wouldn't be listing anything until I have my allocation because, again, I don't know if you're going to get 6 boxes, 24, 48, who knows? No one really knows. So any stores that have had pre-sales like a month ago where there was Flipside Gaming did, Stomping Grounds did one. I buy from Stomping Grounds sometimes. I remember, I think it was like a week or two ago, they had like an announcement that they were going to do it like at 10 p.m. Eastern time for a sale. And I'm an old man. I go to bed before 10 p.m. because I'm up super early in the morning. And so I missed it. I don't know how it went, but I know when I woke up in the morning, 5 a.m., it was gone. So I'm sure it was gone within the hour. But I don't know how they can know their allocation numbers yet. So I feel like they might know them, but like the most stores don't. So a lot of these smaller stores, I would be very weary about pre-orders, but that's why I said I'm going to be nibbling from different sources pretty soon, just so I can make sure I get some. If I can lock in that $600 price, I can live with that. If for some reason it drops, I have no problem sitting on boxes like that. That's like if, like a Lord of the Rings. If the set came out at 500, for example, and it dropped to 300 because people didn't like special edition, and you just kind of sat and wait in the boxes, look what happened 2 years later. So it's just kind of one of those things, a little bit of a risk reward, but I don't see a risk in a set like Final Fantasy, especially long term. If it dips in the beginning and people think that the $600 becomes a crazy expensive price, just tuck it in the closet, forget about it, wait 6 months or a year, and you're going to see it change for sure. There's no way they're going to overprint the shit out of the set. There's no way. I think it's going to be a home run, start to finish. IPs like this will not risk failure. Like there's just no way, not just the print runs, but the quality of the cards, the rarities and things like that, the chase pulls. There's no way they're going to have their name being spoiled by some other company. And Final Fantasy has their own TCG already. So like, it's funny because people probably play that. I've never played it, but like they know clearly that Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro is making the best card game there is. So that's why they have their own card game. They went to another company that makes card games to do it for them because they know the reach that they have and they're going to sell a shitload of them. So again, if you're worried about, if you have the fear of missing out, start to grab a couple here and there. It's fine. It is what it is. Because you never know. You could pre-order 6 boxes now at $600 and they could very well get canceled by the store. You could order the 6 boxes at $600 and they could go to $1,000 and the store honors it. Or they just run out or who knows. But like I said, This is one of those ones you're going to want to buy from multiple sources because it's going to disappear. It's going to be gone. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see. I hate to say it, but I assume there's going to be some fallout from this set because it's going to be crazy. Hey, speaking of Fallout, there's another IP, for example. I mean, Fallout, huge IP. Everyone plays. A lot of people played the game. I loved it. I was a huge Fallout 4 person. Absolutely loved the game. It was incredible. And so I loved opening that product. And now those are $1,000 a box. I mean, again, there's no way that they're going to let those things just die and become like a shit product. Assassin's Creed kind of did for a little while, but it's already creeping back up and didn't even take that long. So, yeah, keep an eye on it over the next month or so because I think you're going to see sales velocity, especially on the eBays and TCG players, pick up because it's been at that $600 price point for a while, and I think that once it goes up, if it goes up pre-sale to 700, 800, it's only going to go like exponential. So keep an eye on it, but I think it's going to be wild to see what happens over the next 2 months when we get towards release of Final Fantasy. But I can't wait for it. It's going to be awesome.